people don't understand how lonely it is at the top. They see you winning, like, oh, she winning, she got her own spot, she winning, she winning. You don't know how much this is requiring of me. Sometimes you leave your light on people too long.
Damn, yo, what the?
We don't realize that once we're put in school, the limits are there. But the fact that you put me in this English class with this teacher, that's a limit. What if I can't learn with 30 students? What if I need to learn by myself? What if I need a small group? Spiritual is our being. So I think it, then I start feeling it, and then I start relating to you like that. Therefore, I am.
Hey, what the name of this show?
I Talk Great.
I Talk Great.
Are you ready to take your podcast to the next level? Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, the AV Club is the perfect place to bring your vision to life. The space is designed for creators like you with high quality cameras, microphones to ensure your podcast sounds amazing every time. Plus, our environment makes it easy to focus and feel at home while you record. From solo recordings to group sessions, we've got you covered with flexible booking options. So go ahead and visit www.theavclubstudios.com to schedule your session now. The AV Club Studios, where your voice gets heard. Let them know Mr. Williams from the I Talk Great podcast said so. Yeah. Y'all already know what it is. It's Mr. Williams with the I Talk Great podcast, where we talk about the gray areas of business and life because it's never just black and white. I got a heavy hitter in the building. Professor D is up in here. Yeah. We lit.
I love it.
How you doing, Queen?
I am awesome. I'm excellent. I am just feeling, you ever just feel a certain way, but there's no word for it?
Oh, yeah.
It's also almost like when we say the word awesome, the first three letters is A-W-E, awe.
Aww.
So to be in awe, to be in your presence, thank you for sharing your space with me.
Thank you. No, for sure. You've inspired me.
Oh.
Yes, I've been following you for a long I've been following you for a long time, and I'm not even going to lie, you opened up a space for me that helped me kind of catapult in this industry.
Wow.
Being invited to the Glitz and Girl Power Award show.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to get into that show for the longest. And then when you hit me up, you was like, yo, you gonna be out there? I'm like, no. He's like, yo, I got you. Pull up. And normally people just talk, but you kept it a buck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, yo, but I didn't know you from nowhere. I knew Fiona.
And Crystal, because I met you at Crystal's, I think.
Yeah, but I met her after.
Okay.
So I knew Fiona first.
Okay.
I didn't know she had two other sisters.
Wow, yeah.
So that's why I was shocked. I was like, why she invite me? Because I'm like, Fiona do her thing too. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to question it because my car wasn't working at that time. I had to take the Uber there. And I'm like, I am there.
And then you was on there on the red carpet with Rick Ross, I think.
Yeah. So I had to have you on here because it would be wrong, you know what I mean? Because I believe a lot of people don't understand the power of reciprocity and, giving the flowers to people that just go ahead and say, hey, I see you doing your thing, because you said that, like, yo, I see you doing your thing.
Yeah.
And I had to go ahead and say, you know what, we got to bring the queen on. And you be talking your ish to them kids. Like, how'd you get into that? Like, let us know, let the people who don't know you, how you get into the line of being a professor and just dropping all that sauce with the younger generation.
Yeah. It actually started, I have my undergrad degree in communications. And then I got a master's in educational leadership. But right out of college, I worked for the late, great, legendary Jim Brown, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Yes, he had a program called American, and he was bringing it to Ohio. And so I got hired right out of college. So I taught that at Dunbar High School in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
Shout out to Dayton, Ohio. Shout out to Dunbar.
Okay.
I taught it there and actually did it for 14 years. So during that time, I owned a gym. I owned a dance studio. So some people.
You owned a gym?
Yeah.
Wow, that's why you so fit, because you ain't changed. This was some years ago. You still look the same.
Yeah, I'm not that gym rat no more, but I take care of myself. And from that, I ended up getting a position to teach dance at Central State University in that health performance department, health and human performance department. And they gave me a chance to grow I started doing a weight training and conditioning class, and they said, we
Okay.
need someone to do lecture. And so I got in lecture, went from 1 class to 3 classes to 5 classes.
Mm-hmm.
And then people just wanted to be in my class. So I would have students just come by and say, can I sit in today? That wasn't my intention. I was just
Really?
being. And I had tapped into a part of myself that I didn't even realize that I had. That's the dopeness of it. And what ended up happening was, now, in college, they make you buy these books for these classes
Oh, yeah.
that cost $150, $200.
Yes.
And so, of course, my students, this is a HBCU
Mm-hmm.
in Ohio, and my students, they weren't vibing with the book. That book was for Becky. Okay? The book was for Becky. So I would add my
Okay.
little extra sauce
Yeah.
to make sure that they could understand it.
Mhm.
And so with this being a mandatory health class
Yeah.
for first-year freshmen and transfer students, it was an opportunity to make an impression on them. My thing is, my standard is here. I'm not coming down here to raise yours. So all of those students that came in from Chicago, St. Louis, Cleveland,
Yeah.
they automatically came in with the we up here. They challenged me to write a book.
Really?
So that's how I ended up writing Lit for Life. It's a guide to
Okay.
improving psychological health. They challenged me to do that. So that was our health book. So they put it in the Barnes & Noble's bookstore at the school, and the students
What?
were required to get my book for our class.
Let's go ahead and clap it up for that. Lit for life.
Yeah.
Are you a business owner, entrepreneur, entertainer, and you got a story to tell? You want to get your brand out there to the world? Well, you reached the right place. Let's set up an exclusive interview between me and you. I Talk Gray, and we're going to go ahead and get your brand out there to the world. But here what you do. Go ahead and send me an email with the words Gray at italkgraymedia@gmail.com. See you soon. How'd you come up with that title, though?
Because everybody was always lit. It was like
Okay,
everybody
yeah,
lit,
yeah.
everybody lit. It's litty.
Yeah.
And so one day in class, I was like, we lit, limitless, intentional, and thoughtful. Oh, we limitless. Take the limits off. Ain't no limits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Intentional. Do your things with purpose.
Yes.
Set an intention. Stop being out here, just being out here. And then be thoughtful. Thoughtful of self first and others. And sometimes people say, well, that's selfishness. Yes, it is. Healthy selfishness.
Yes. I
Me
like
first,
that.
but not me only.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, have you ever experienced where, because you said, limitation, right? Or limits. And I think sometimes we don't realize how we place those limits on ourselves. So do you feel like you ever went through that throughout your journey?
Absolutely.
Or how'd you undo it?
I believe I came here a rebel, but a rebel with a cause.
Okay.
And so we don't realize it. Once we're put in school,
Mm-hmm.
the limits are there. Even at home, you have limits.
Okay.
When you leave the hospital, you have limits.
Yes.
Before you leave the hospital, you have limits.
Mhm.
While you're in the womb, there are limits. Why? Because society has already placed limits on you because of your demographics, the color of your skin, where you live at, how much money your parents make.
Mhm.
Then by the time you're born in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
they're putting limits on you. Oh, you're in the 35th percentile of babies born at this time, 95th percentile. So they're putting a limit on you already, thinking that you're only going to grow so much.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to shake those limits off. But it's hard to shake those limits off because now you're in preschool.
Yeah.
You have to sit in a circle.
Yeah.
You have to stand in line. You have to do this paper before you can get the next paper. You got to do this paper before you can go out on recess and play.
Yeah.
What if I want to play first, then work? The limits are there.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
endless. I can
yeah.
go on and on and on
No,
of
no,
the
no, for
limits.
sure.
But the fact that you put me in this English class with this teacher, that's a limit,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
With these 30 students, what if I can't learn with 30 students? What if I need to learn by myself? What if I need a small group? And so these are things that we go throughout our life as limits.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where it don't feel right.
Yeah.
So even, I'll never forget it, in first grade, I was always that student that people would ask me for help. So the teacher was teaching, and one of my friends, she asked me for help.
Okay.
And the teacher said, "Are you talking again?" I'm like, "I'm trying to help her." Get out in the hall. I got my first paddle.
Hold on, you paddle like spank?
Yeah. I'm telling my age. Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
they gave paddles in school. So in first grade, I got a paddle.
Uh-huh.
And so I can remember throughout my school years, I always got in trouble for talking. And so when I got into middle school, my teacher, if you talked, she would make us put our fingers on the wall and stand. I'll never forget it, Miss Smith. She would make us lean against the wall. So this other teacher came in and said, what is Kamala doing on the wall with her fingers like that? She said, she won't stop talking. Sometimes that thing you keep getting in trouble for is that thing you're really good at.
Big facts.
And he
big
said,
facts.
let me take her. And he said, you need to run for student council. So I ran for student council. And after that, 9th grade year, every year after that, I was the president of my class.
Wow, look at that.
Don't put no limit on me. Don't tell me I can't talk.
Yeah. See?
But you do have an order about things.
Yeah,
You got to have a little order about things.
Yes. No, of course.
So the person that you seeing in these videos,
Yeah.
there are no limits.
Mm-hmm.
There are no limits. There's a lot of things I was teaching I probably would have got fired for. I showed my students the video with Bill Gates talking about population control and vaccinations 5 years before the pandemic came out.
The pandemic?
You see? You see? That wasn't in the book.
Yeah, no, facts. No, you're so right about that. You know, I tell people all the time that school is just an indoctrination camp. Because, you know, they say things like, don't talk to strangers, but imagine if I ain't want to talk to you. You see what I'm saying?
Come on.
It's little seeds that they plant to stop you from being your best self.
Yes.
You know, so, but what made you want to say, hey, I'm showing these students all these things? Like, you wasn't afraid of losing your job or?
I was just at a place in my life where I wanted more for myself.
Uh-huh.
When you want more for yourself and then you see these babies coming in.
Yeah.
And they came from I had a student that would go home probably like once a month for a funeral because one of his homeboys died back in Chicago. And I told him, you got to stop.
Yeah.
Either you going to be here or you going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted more,
Mm-hmm.
but the people back home only was showing them less. So if I want more and I'm seeing this, I got to want them to want more too. I have to present something to them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're in these structured positions, when you're a teacher, even policemen, when you're a doctor, there's only so many things that you're supposed to present to the patient.
Yeah, sure.
Only so many things you're supposed to present to the client.
Yeah.
But that's not being your true self. And I was walking through this path where I was working on being my true self.
Yes.
And that's what happened when you in the position and you're being your true self. It exudes out of you, and people want, what's that you got?
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah.
I can't be quiet about it.
Yeah.
So I was a professor there for 10 years, and my students would do videos of me. They would hide. On the first day of class, I look around the room. I don't think I can curse on here, can I?
No, you can.
Okay,
Go ahead. Yeah,
all
you
right.
free. Be lit.
Be lit, okay. And I say, and everybody on their phone, everybody doing their thing. I said, I'm smiling. Put your mother phones away.
What?
And then they do like this. Okay. Wow, like that. I said, this is a very expensive business meeting that we're having right now.
Yeah.
And whoever that is, they not worth it. Because you have to raise it up and say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm in college, paying for this class. I need to pay attention. I need to get my worth out of this meeting.
Yeah. But what makes you think that, you know, why people pay for stuff? Because you see that all the time. You know, when you pay, you should pay attention. But why you think some of these, you know,
Literally.
Yeah. But why you think some of these kids will be paying for college, right, and still not be paying attention while they're in there?
They don't know their why, which is another question I ask on the first day.
Wow.
What is your why?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
You ever ask somebody that? Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Some of them were there because their parents made them.
Yeah, of course.
They didn't want to go to the military. There were some that wanted to go to college. Some of them wanted to be the first. They were the first to go to college.
First generation.
So everybody's why was different.
Yeah.
But as long as you know your why, you'll know this will be your reason for staying. If you're there for somebody else, you won't be here long.
Yeah.
If I can attach to a why, my staying power is a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So your book, right? It's a guide to improving
Psychological health. So what I did was I noticed in the book that we were told to teach.
Yeah.
Most of it was dealing with psychological health, but physical health. Psychological, I took the 4 components of mental, emotional, social, and spiritual.
Okay.
Thinking, how we think, mental. Emotional, how we feel. Social, how we relate to others. And spiritual is our being. So I think it, then I start feeling it. And then I start relating to you like that. Therefore, I am.
Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
If you look at somebody and see how they're acting,
Yeah.
you already know what they're thinking and feeling.
No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. That is so true.
So then I have to ask the question, is
Yeah.
that who you are? Just because you see someone acting a certain way, that does not mean that's who they are.
No, that's true. I could be a program.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
means their spiritual health may not be what it needs to be, just like your physical health. If you see somebody sick, their physical health, there's something going on. It may not even be that you got a cold. You may have allergies.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you ever go through a point where you had to look at your psychological health? For the reason why you
Absolutely.
wanted to write that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Your thoughts determine everything. If you change your thoughts, you change your life. If you change your thoughts, you change your life. If you change your thoughts, you change your life.
Yeah.
So if you say, I hate school, how do you think you're going to do in school?
Yeah. Shitty.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But
if
how
you-
you change your thoughts though?
If you change your thoughts about school,
Okay.
then you're deemed to do better. How do you change your thoughts? There's different ways to change your thoughts. People can say, just stop thinking them.
Okay. Okay.
And that's where your course correct comes in. You
Yeah.
say, well, what am I thinking? When am I thinking it? Why am I thinking it? People are doing affirmations.
Yes.
So instead of me saying, I hate school, I can say, I love school. You may not love school yet.
Yes.
Give yourself 21 days.
Yeah.
Find something you love about school. Okay? Sometimes there are positions that we are in that we cannot evade.
Yes.
We cannot avoid. You got to go to work,
Yeah.
right? So for right now, since you have to do this job, let's find out what you like about this job. So instead of saying, I got to go work, I got to go to work. Oh man, I got to go to work. You can say, let me get this money. If that's what it is, if that's the thing you
Yeah.
need, because
Yeah.
that's why you're going.
Yes. Yes.
Because the mind is tricky. It's like somebody's forcing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if somebody is forcing you to do something, you don't want to do it. So you have to find a reason. You have to find your why.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work for you, you need to re-examine your why. You might not need to be there anymore
Yeah.
because it's making you sick. There are people that are literally sick from going to work. They're sick from going to school because
Yeah.
they say, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
I'm sick of school. Your words are so important because your thoughts, you thinking it, then you end up saying it.
Yeah.
Then you end up feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you end up relating to your coworkers, to your boss. When you get home from work, you yelling at the kids. And they ain't
Yeah.
do nothing wrong. And then really
Yeah.
it's your spiritual health because
Yeah.
you are not being who you're supposed to be.
No, that's true.
You're not walking in your I amness.
Yo, we gotta drop a bomb on I am this. Yo, I am that I am. I was reading this book. It's called Tribal Leadership, right? Because people don't realize, like, when you're speaking English or speaking a certain language, you'll attract a certain tribe. You know, so I tell people that's why they call it spelling,
Yeah.
because you can literally cast spells
Yep.
on yourself. Like Elon Musk thinks it's easy to colonize Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So things open up for him to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so when did you come into this awareness that you should be mindful of the language that you're using?
You know, I'm a preacher's daughter. So I grew up at the age of 5, my dad became this preacher. And so you learn so much in church about your mouth and about words. So those were my initial lessons. Like the scriptures speak those things that be not as though they were.
Yeah.
So if I speak it, even though it's not, I'm speaking it as if it has already happened.
Yeah.
But you know, when you learn certain lessons, they don't resonate until you maybe find another way to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that requires faith. If I'm saying, if I don't have a car and I'm saying, I have a car.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 2024 Mustang convertible.
Yeah.
But it's not in physical form yet.
Mm-hmm.
Then if I start thinking that I have a car,
Yes.
every day I'm not thinking, man, I'm riding this bus. I gotta get a lift.
Yeah.
That make you feel a certain type of way. I ain't gonna never get a car. My credit's bad. I ain't got no down payment money. But if I keep thinking, I am so excited about this new car I got.
Mm-hmm.
And you smiling and you telling people,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, where your car at? Don't worry about my car. Just know that I got a car.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
No,
what
big
I'm saying?
facts, big facts.
You speaking this to yourself.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the biggest thing, is to really speak it into action. And then it's like I start studying different people and learning about words. And Dick Gregory actually was very,
Yeah.
very instrumental in my not caring about what the say.
Big facts, big facts.
I was like, that's raw.
Yeah.
Because I felt it.
Yeah.
And excuse me, before I say Dick Gregory, my father being a pastor, he was a cussing pastor, actually.
Really?
He was one of the
Interesting.
pastors that he would do the gangs, funerals. People would come by the church and talk to him.
Okay.
You know, so he was like for the streets. You feel me?
Yeah.
So he really, when he got in the pulpit, he really spoke truth and didn't care that we were in the church,
Yeah.
but the word was the truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then Dick Gregory, and then I was at Dick Gregory's funeral actually, and I was sitting 2 seats away from his medicine man, Dr. B. Serious. And
Oh yeah, he's a goat.
you hear me?
Yeah.
So I actually started being coached by him.
Really? That's why
Yeah.
you looking so radiant and
What?
shining.
Well, this was back when Dick Gregory passed away.
Wow.
So it's been some years.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
was
Well,
it
you keeping it up.
2000?
Yeah.
How long has he been? Did he transition? Maybe 2015.
Yeah. It's been a little minute now.
Yeah. So he was doing subconscious realignment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we started talking at the funeral. It was 7 hours long.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It was a celebration.
It was a celebration.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, I started working with him, and he would catch me every time.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one taught me about what you were talking about, spelling.
Yeah.
The first test you have is a spelling test.
Uh-huh.
You know, you put these letters together, they make words. Words make sentences. Sentences make paragraphs. Before you know it, you done put a whole curse on yourself.
That is correct.
But because our limited information that we're giving,
Mm-hmm.
that we've been given throughout our school years,
Mm-hmm.
most people are not going to read a book. They're not going to tap in.
Yeah, that's so true.
And that's one of the things, if you want to ask me what could be a gripe that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't look at it as a gripe, I look at it as an opportunity to learn. For our people, or for people in general,
Mm-hmm.
to take the limits off of what they can learn
That's so true.
and relearn. The reason why I say relearn is because most times you forgot. You showed up as a divine spark.
Yeah.
That's why a 2-year-old will tell you no. A 2-year-old showed up knowing that they don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's so true.
You want me to sit down. I don't want to sit down.
Yeah.
And my mother could tell you, at 3 years old, I'm at church and I don't want to sit down. And I'm in the middle of the aisle and the pastor is preaching. and I'm just in the middle of the aisle, and I'm just dancing. Now everybody else is just sitting here listening to the preacher.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking at me, and my mom was so embarrassed. You could just, when your mama's embarrassed, you in church.
Yeah.
And the pastor said, "Let her be."
Wow.
But most churches would have said, "That little bad girl, sit her down
Yeah.
somewhere, take her to the nursery." That is the problem.
Yeah.
A 4-year-old, a 3-4-year-old ask why
Yeah.
over 300 times per day. And what do we say to them? Because I said so.
Shut your damn mouth.
You see what I'm saying?
I said so. Yeah.
So we're already constructing this mindset in kids. Don't ask questions and don't tell me no. So then when they get 10 years old and they need to tell their friend, "No, I'm not going to, do this with you."
Yeah.
It's hard for them to do that. It's hard for them to tell people no.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's, wow, you just hit something so, powerful, because you even see it, like, even in certain relationships, like, you have some women, they may not want to do certain things, but they don't know how to say no.
Don't even know how to say no.
Yeah.
People don't know how to say no. How do I tell them I don't want to do this?
Yeah.
You got to relearn, baby.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Did you see how easy that was?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, she said, "Not today."
You see how easy that is? We make it so hard.
Yeah.
We make it so hard, and it's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have these different programs working on you, I like to use the example of, we got iPhones. I know some people have Androids, but I can only speak from my iPhone right now.
Yeah.
On your iPhone, once you use all of your storage up, you either got to buy more, or you can't download. It's certain things that you just cannot do anymore.
That's so true.
And so what you're doing is you're finding old pictures. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Let me delete this app, but I need that app. All right, I'll delete this app, and then I'll put another app on. What are you doing?
Hoarding.
Don't you want a full function of your phone?
Yeah.
You need to get rid of some of them old programs.
Mm-hmm.
They're not serving you anymore. How many of us take pictures that we never look at again?
Yeah.
We're catching the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of catching the moment, we got to start being in the moment.
Damn, you spitting bars out here. No, that's so true. Because when I go into the gym, I'm telling you, I see cats working out and on the phone. I'm like, what the heck? Or they just sitting on the bench and scrolling. So nobody's in the moment. So did you ever see Social Dilemma?
No.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
So it was a group of workers that worked at all these social media sites, like whether it was Instagram, YouTube, and they came together and they did a documentary, and they showed how the people who create these apps, they know how addictive the apps are.
Yeah.
And the kids, I feel so sorry for them, because you have parents where they give them the phones.
Wait, this one was the one that was a documentary?
Yeah, this is a documentary.
I seen it.
Yeah.
And he talked about the dopamine. Every time they get,
And the mom took the phone from the son, and he jumped out the car and jumped over a bridge. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah. They have more attachment to that than people.
Yeah.
To his own mama.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, how do we get out of this? Because it's starting to affect older people.
If you look at anybody and you look at anything and you wonder what's going on, you look at the algae. And if you can rid yourself of those things, you flying high. Attachments are hard.
Yeah.
Some things we're attached to blankets, pillows. Think about this.
Yeah.
Since I had this since I was a kid, stuffed animals, you still got that same attachment. You can't even hug your wife.
Yeah.
Because you're attached to this pillow.
No, that's so true.
People are attached to people. They cannot let go of people.
Yeah.
They can't even become who they truly are. They can't walk in their I amness because they're still walking in the we-ness.
Damn. Yo,
you got to cut the we-ness off. There is a time and a place for we-ness.
Yes. No, of course.
But in order for me to get out of this hole, I have to become whole. And the wholeness is in my I. It's in my I. It's not in our we. Because even in team, when I'm talking to teams, I'm talking about, team means what? Together, everyone achieves more. But there's actually an I in team. It's you.
Okay.
If I don't come correct,
yeah,
everybody don't achieve more.
Yeah.
It's okay to be together, but if I'm bringing broken pieces
Yes.
to togetherness, we already lost.
No, that's true. And people don't realize that one individual that's vibrating on that low frequency
Come on.
can affect everybody or infect the rest of the group. It just needs that one person that's, talking that low vibration, gossiping, or being in a victim mode. And this is just how it starts. It just starts to trickle around. So how important is it for you to make sure you're around the right people as you've been growing in your business?
Do you remember going to a house party? And when you went in the party, you were checking the vibe.
Yeah.
And if the vibe wasn't right, you left. Sometimes we go and we wait for the vibe.
Yeah.
If it ain't hitting, we leave.
Yeah.
But sometimes the vibe be us. I knew a long time ago I was a party starter. I knew I was the one for the icebreakers and everything.
Yeah, you knew you was lit.
I knew I was lit.
Yeah.
So as far as business and in schools and even with your family, everybody is not vibrating on the same frequency.
No, that's so true.
You can go in one room and one person is doing one thing and you don't want to be in there.
Yeah.
You go in another room and somebody else doing something else and you might want to be in there. And then you can go in another room and you feel everybody taken away from your vibe.
Yes.
Now that's why you have to be intentional. Do I want to be in this room where I'm allowed to be myself and people love that vibe? You got to know how long to stay. You got to know how much to give.
Yeah.
And you got to know when to leave.
Yeah.
And that be the problem. That's why we get so burnt out. I was burnt out when I owned my gym for 5 years.
Wow.
I was a sole owner, and then I did have, some subcontractors that would contract space as trainers and as like my dance director and things like that.
Yeah.
People don't understand how lonely it is at the top. They see you winning, like, oh, she winning, she got her own spot, she winning, she winning. You don't know how much this is requiring of me.
Yeah, that's facts.
Because some people will just keep pulling from you. They'll just keep pulling. And that's I had posted the other day about sometimes you leave your light on people too long.
Damn, yo, what the hell? Yo, you going in today. Yo, you was going in. You leave your light on people too long.
Too long.
Damn.
And you trying to make it work, and all of a sudden you don't have nothing else to give.
Yeah.
You ain't got no flashlight. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no extra lamp in the room. You have nothing left to give.
Yeah.
And you just done. And I ended up doing that. I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go. You got to know when to pull away.
Yes.
I'm not going to lose my mind over this.
No, of course.
But because I got to keep the lights on in my house and in my business.
Yes.
And so we have to find balance, and that's where the struggle becomes real to people, because it doesn't have to be a struggle. But when we begin not to have the balancing action, because it's not just one act. You know how you balancing,
Yeah.
and then something happened, it's like, whoa, almost.
Yeah.
And you get it back on.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, we good.
Yeah.
But I got to make sure I have strong legs. You feel me? I got to make sure I got strong arms, because when I need to hold something up and balance on one foot, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? We also got to know how to ask for people to come and assist.
Yes.
Can you come here for a little bit?
I need you.
I need you. That's another problem we have. That's ego.
Oh, yes.
That's ego.
I'm reading a book right now. It's called The 10 Powerful Phrases for Positive People.
Okay.
So one of the chapters in there is actually speaking about the power of saying thank you, but I need you. But a lot of people don't know how to come out of that ego, and then they don't realize they're self-sabotaging the opportunity.
Yes, we are great at that. I was great at being a self-saboteur.
Wow.
Because you strong. See, that's another program. You a strong woman. You a strong woman.
Yeah.
Y'all better get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? Just because I have muscles and you see me doing this and doing that, I'm very sensitive.
Yeah.
And I know I probably come off strong to people, but I'm very sensitive. I'm tapped in sensitive. I'm intuitive, so I feel you. I'm empathic.
Yes.
And so I need somebody to come over here. because I just listened to 5 students tell me, you know, they got roaches in their room. Or I just listened to the students saying they couldn't go home for Thanksgiving because they don't have any money.
Yeah.
And then I, you know, just listened to this lady who just lost her husband, so she came to class to try to feel better about her life.
Mm-hmm.
But what about me? Who gonna listen to me?
Yeah.
Who gonna hold me up?
Yeah.
Do I just go home? Because it got to a point where I would go home and drink a bottle of wine a day.
Wow.
That was my hold up.
Yeah.
Instead of just finding somebody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we just need to release.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't need much sometimes.
No, that's true.
But if you just keep holding on to that one conversation, then it's 2 conversations, then it's 3,
Yeah.
then it's 4. But if I would have just had that one conversation,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be talking about it right now.
Yeah. And I'm carrying all your baggage. I always mess up her name. Anzala Vazant.
Ayana.
Ayana Vazant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She said it's not selfish, it's self-full.
Yeah,
You know, because you can't pour from an empty cup,
exactly.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you hitting it on some great points here, Professor D. We're going to have to do a part 2.
We have to do a part 2
Yes, we
because
are. Talking to you, it's going to be on some Joe Rogan type-ish, 2 hours,
Listen,
3 hours.
let me tell you, because we ain't even hit on what we need to hit on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I want to talk about, I don't know, this is something else. We can talk about it later because everybody is so emotional. So let's go back to emotions real quick. Do I have time?
Yeah, we have a little time.
Just real quick about
Yeah.
emotions,
Uh-huh.
emotional health. You can see the emotional health of people
Mm-hmm.
is failing.
Yes.
Emotional health,
Yeah. I'm
how
seeing it a
people
lot.
feel.
Mm-hmm.
People are not only wearing their feelings on their sleeves, they're wearing them on their face.
Yeah.
Everybody is uptight and they're letting you know why they're uptight
Mm-hmm.
to a point where they will forget you are their friend
Yeah. Cutting you
because
off
of
quick.
something that happened to somebody else.
Yeah.
Not about something you did to them,
Mm-hmm.
about an opinion you had, about a decision you made.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are not speaking to people anymore because they're so emotional about the outcome of the election.
Yeah. I got unfollowed by a lot
So,
of people.
So we got to eventually come back and talk about that.
Yes. No, for sure. We
People are
definitely gotta do
emotional
a
about
part
the
2.
Diddy stuff.
Yeah. And I
That's
feel like that was an
emotional.
distraction too.
Another distraction.
Yeah.
And people got emotional just
Yeah.
like they were supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we grew up on that music.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you did this.
Yeah.
He did what?
He did what?
Dang, that's a shame. So you didn't include your whole life because I'm guilty. I'm guilty of watching one of the interviews
Yeah.
or 2.
Yeah.
You get guilty of that. But
Yeah.
it really ain't guilt. It's just, let me see what's going on.
Yeah. Because I don't believe he did all the stuff that they were saying. You know, but we're going to have to definitely talk. Look at her face.
Pause.
But before we get out of here, let everybody know where they can find you at and where they can get the book from.
Okay, great. Right now, you can find me here.
Hey, I love that. Hey, she is here with us.
That is real.
Okay, I love that.
Because sometimes we be everywhere and we miss being here.
Yes.
And I had to take a pause. But I am on social media, Professor D Official.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find me on Professor D Official, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay, yeah, TikTok is a spot.
Yes, I don't have my website. Actually, I'm not going to be doing a bunch of different websites.
Okay.
So I am starting my own university. So we'll have to talk about that later. True
What?
Self University.
Okay, hold on. We got it. Hey.
Yeah, True Self University. It's the institution of higher self-learning.
I love that.
It's for you.
Yes. Sign me up.
It's for you. We
Yes.
all going to do it.
Yes.
And maybe you might want to come teach.
Oh, yeah, I'm all for
We'll be
that.
looking for professors,
Okay.
adjunct professors to come teach. And we'll go from there.
Yes, Professor D. Thank
You can,
so much.
if you're interested in
Uh-huh.
information about True Self University, they can just
Mhm.
email us at trueselfuniversity@gmail.com.
Okay. Awesome.
trueselfuniversity@gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah, I heard what she said. Make sure y'all go follow her. You already know what it is. It's Mr. Williams with the I Talk Great podcast, and we out of here. Yeah.